Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to.
Poor people groceries versus rich people's groceries.
Ooh, this is going to be interesting.
Interesting. Let's see.
Morning, welcome back.
What do you
Word on the street.
think
The guy
rich groceries look like?
Organic.
All organic?
Organic. Yeah, I would say
Ooh,
organic.
like
More brand name stuff versus whereas poor
I don't
people
think
it's
I don't think
generic.
brand. I think it's going to be like a name that you don't even know is a
But
brand.
it's okay, but it's still a brand. They don't need generic. I think of it the
Mhm.
poor people's is gonna be more generic foods.
running this channel, he's been visiting a lot of supermarkets recently, eating a lot of groceries. Why, you ask? Because they're healthy for yous. Ain't that common knowledge? Too much protein. Wise guy, eh? Hey, there's no time for jokes right now. In this economy, everyone wishes they could be more like too much protein guy. Look at eggs, costing the same amount as a t-shirt from H&M. Look at the 85% tariffs on the whole entire world. More like I am tariff-fied. Watching the stock market take a big tumble
I
just as
agree
bad
with
as
this
Scarlett
one
did.
before.
Didn't think we'd be doing a
That
speed
was
run into
good.
a recession in just a few months. You telling me I gotta choose between a nice 8-ounce steak dinner once a month or paying my electricity bill? Oh, thank God. Our wallets and purses, they're feeling a lot skinnier these days, and we can really feel the effects of the market collapse when buying food. But it wasn't always like this. As a small child, I fondly remember grocery store trips to Superstore and Safeway being a fun outside of the
We
house
don't have a
activity. You tag
Safeway.
No, it's a West Coast thing. They had it in Arizona.
What's it like? It's like a
Publix.
what? Publix?
Yeah.
Okay.
along with your parents who still have that hopeful gleam in their eyes as you watch them fill a shopping cart to the brim with food. And then you, like a little gremlin, will quietly sneak things into the cart when no one was looking. Shut up. Mom, what do you mean I can't buy purple ketchup?
Oh, I
My
remember
tortilla
this.
isn't gonna
That
taste
was sus.
Purple
That was
what?
sus,
What was it? What
yeah.
is
This
it?
was like back in the day when I was a kid. Like
Ah.
they had like funky like ketchup sauce color. It's like it's very interesting. I think there was also a green one too.
Okay.
the same. But honey, you already have so much. Yes, mom. I already finished my Pokemon pasta noodles earlier. And yes, also my Hubba Bubba bubblegum in a detergent container.
You
Look,
know which one I always wanted to eat because it
Mm.
looks so good is Chef Boyardee. It's like pasta in a can.
No, I've
It
seen
looks
it.
so
I've
good
seen it.
and ready to eat. You just
I think they make it for kids because I feel like I've seen it like in shapes of alphabet or something like that.
just get me the purple ketchup, lady. I'm this close to canceling you on TikTok. Honey, I don't understand what that means. Not to sound 50 years old, but as a 50-year-old would say, what a time with not a phone in sight. All we had to deal with were overstimulating design choices and marketing ads with questionable ethics. Really missing grocery stores from 30 years ago, where families could leave with paper bags full of fresh fruit and vegetables,
Ooh.
not having to
Oh,
worry
okay.
about the
So
Costco.
one of our life bucket goals is for Lucas to go on what do you call that? A game show, and it's for shopping, and he has to run in the cart and do the shopping. I think that would be super cool. I want to see you and watch you at home.
I think that's a goal for you, not for me.
No.
Mafia chasing them down when the check they paid with bounces. Don't think grocers take checks anymore, but hey, with the way inflation is going, we're gonna have to take out loans to start feeding ourselves. At least we have good old technology.
I can
now.
imagine
With a
at
few
one
beep
point they
boops on our
used to
phone,
take
someone
checks.
will deliver groceries
They still do at Costco.
They
You
still
can, you
do?
can pay by check at Costco, yeah. I don't know
Oh.
about other stores, but at Costco you can. I've seen a person pay like a couple months ago by check.
right to your door. With a light dusting of cigarette ashes on your gal apples. I know, I'm oversimplifying things. I got a case of the back in my day, but at this current time, you can really see the class divide between the ultra rich and the rest. You ever heard of the term classy if you're rich, trashy if you're poor? Doing the exact same activity in two different tax brackets are entirely different
Yes.
experiences. Depending on how much you have in
Yeah.
your bank account,
What's
you
an
either get
example
looked
of
down
that, do you think?
Classy.
If you're rich.
There was a thread on Reddit. I have read
They
it.
were so good too.
Yeah.
Classy if
Classy
you're
if you're
rich.
rich. Dirty
Oh,
if you. Oh, wearing like sweatpants everywhere, for example.
oh.
Rich. No, not even just sweatpants. Like just like wearing whatever clothes. When you're
Yeah.
rich, oh yeah, you're rich. You do whatever you want. When you're poor, it's like oh, it's trash. You can put up some nice clothes.
I think
Oh.
thrifting.
Yeah.
When rich people thrift is one thing, but when poor
But
do
do you think
people,
it's classy? Like, it's
what do you
a.
mean? There's like expensive thrift stores.
Do you think rich people thrift though?
I don't know.
I don't think rich people thrift. I think for
At
rich
one
people,
moment it was like a trend to thrift.
I think for rich people it wouldn't be like, oh, you somebody wore this. Ew.
Oh,
I don't know if they would thrift.
oh.
Uh,
My example sucked.
not sucked. I just Because I don't know if like you have money. Why would you go thrift? Like, why would you thrift if you have money though?
So what's another example? It's classy if you're rich,
Trashy if
but
you're
trashy
poor.
if you're poor. I don't know. I don't know. What can you do? This is hard. Maybe he'll give us some examples.
On and called low class, or you're seen as a cool, chill guy who's on top of trends. It's not just the S&P 500 and Dow Jones fueling the economy, it's also the aesthetics economy as well. Heading down to your local farmer's market and paying $20 for a single piece of fruit is boho chic. Buying a bag of oranges for $1
They say
from
that's
a
the
New York fruit
best
stand.
strawberry you'll ever taste in your life. Ever.
Uh-oh, stinky. According to this New York native,
I'm just like scared of getting sick or something. It doesn't seem very sanitary, but I see a lot of people going there.
before the invention
Going
of the
where?
supermarket, people would sell
To the
produce out in the
supermarket?
I guess to like a market, farmer's market. I guess
Mm.
I don't know.
open all the time. Think farmers markets and roadside stalls. Independent mom and pop businesses making an honest living by growing their own inventory. The
Oh.
original grocery stores. This business
That's true.
model
That
isn't
used
as
to be
popular as it was.
trashy if you're poor, but now they
Yeah.
made it like bougie, like ooh.
Yeah, I could see how that is. Yeah, it's like trashy.
Because going to the farmers market back in the day used to be like, okay, that's for poor
Mhm,
people
yeah.
that you can't afford to get your veggies. So you go to where
Yes,
the
it
farmers
used to
come
be
with
for
the
sure like that.
with the produce. Now it's bougie
Because it's
if you
all
can.
organic.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Was before, but some are still thriving, depending on the area they're in. Oh, except in 2008, when two little girls in California got their fruit stand shut down for selling in a non-commercialized zone. Sorry kids,
I
no more
remember
ripping off
this.
adults with
I
your
heard it
25
about
cent
somewhere.
lemonade with horrible water to lemon ratio. We're on to you. After years of issuing out licenses and making sure food safety protocols are being followed, these sidewalk stands are now known as a legit place to buy cheap produce and are a staple in cities like New York. This is something I just learned. The reason they can sell for crazy prices, like $1 for an entire bag of grapes, is because they have way less expenses compared to supermarkets. No need to pay for rent, storage, electricity bills, middleman fees for transporting the produce. Plus, their inventory is ripe, so it needs to be sold and eaten right away. The last time I tried to buy grapes in the US 10 years ago, I got jump scared by a $20 price tag when they rang me up at the cash register. That was my fault.
Oh.
It was my first time traveling without an adult, and I didn't know about adult things, like price per pound. Fruit stands are also a staple, and often seen in action movies from the early 2000s. You notice that? Every time there's a chase scene, at least one fruit stand will be a victim of a hit and run. They're not the most glamorous place to buy produce, but they get the job done. Although, a concerned citizen had a burning question for all New Yorkers. Who's actually buying from these fruit stands? Aren't they scared of getting sick?
New York City people, are we buying fruit from those fruit stands on the side of the road? I have a fruit stand guy on my corner, and we always say hi to each other when I walk past, but I've never actually bought anything there from the year that I've been in this neighborhood. I'm on the Upper East Side for reference. I'm just like scared of getting sick or something. It doesn't seem very sanitary, but I see a lot of people going there, so it must be decent. I don't know. Please advise.
Wait, she asked, and then she answered her own question. Huh? This thought has already been processed. Well, she asked a question on the internet, and she received. New Yorkers left comments on her video, which has now been deleted, about how these stands are perfectly safe to eat from, as long as you wash your produce like you would when buying from a grocery
Yeah.
store.
To that lady on the Upper East Side who does not believe in buying from the fruit
Like, so
I was
what
just
do
from
you
Upper East Side.
what do you imagine they do to food at the fruit stands? They inject it with something to kill you, or they inject it with poison? Like, take a look at the fruit. Is it rotten? Don't buy. If it's not rotten, if it looks good, buy it. Like, how is it any different than going to a random tree and picking up an apple and eating it?
I feel like the reason for this commotion is because
Yeah,
since it's
maybe.
outside, flies could possibly zooming around
Okay.
on the fruits.
Yeah, on the tree also flies them around when it hangs on the tree.
Mm-hmm.
How is
That's
that
why
any
I thought
different?
I would. That's why I always wash my fruit because, like, it has to go through transport. People have to handle it, so you have to wash your
Well,
fruits.
when you're outside, you take fruit off the tree, wipe it on your shirt, and you eat it, okay?
I never done that.
That's what you do.
carts. I'm gonna show you my haul. The fruit carts on the side of the street in New York they're one of my favorite things about the city.
This is a message to that Upper East Side fruit, Karen. What the heck were you talking about? First off, look at how fresh all this fruit looks. Like, my local grocery store doesn't even have mangoes and pineapple. This is where the locals actually go shop for their fruit and veggies because they know what's up. And look at these prices. Like, you can't beat that. Also, I do
That's
this with
great
all
prices.
fruit that I get at the grocery store, regardless of where I buy it. But you notice how I'm doing this thing called washing your fruit?
All fresh produce is dirty to some degree. You know that mist of water that always turns on right when your head is underneath the hose? Yeah, it ain't doing too much in terms of washing away dirt. Before you even start chomping on your apple, it's already been touched by dirt, strangers, thousands of insects, and transported on a hot truck with dust flying all over the place. People found it weird how she labeled these specific fruit stands as unsanitary, when buying produce from an organic farmer's market on the Upper East Side is essentially the same thing. You also gotta pick through and find the good stuff. Immigrant parents and my mom know what's up. They will rummage through the entire produce section and find the best piece of fruit. Because even grocery stores will have moldy, squishy tomatoes hiding underneath, waiting for an unsuspecting Asian grandpa to pick it up. That grandpa was me, and I was not happy. This New York lady didn't go into specifics when mentioning fruit stands. I'm assuming she's not talking about a well-organized, color-coded, brightly lit, Instagrammable fruit stand, but something more rough around the edges, like this. Maybe run by someone who doesn't look like they shop at the most expensive grocery store in LA. Her account doesn't exist anymore, but apparently she made a follow-up video where she calls out New York for its trash, rats, dog poop, and says the city vibes feel too dirty to trust food from street vendors. Which, okay, sure. A rat, a cockroach, and a bag of garbage walk into a bar. The bartender says, "Hey, I'm walking here." The bar's actually just a street
I
in New
have
York.
seen some like TikToks of people exposing the sanitation of New York restaurants, and it's quite. It's not the side of TikTok I like to be on.
It's not a city known for its cleanliness.
The rats
so
are
I get the
big.
concern.
They're
but as
big.
long as your food isn't raw dogging, sitting on the dirty ground next to piles of garbage,
But
and
the
people
video,
That's not what I wanted to see.
that's not what I thought it was gonna
I
be
thought he was
about.
gonna,
Though.
like,
I
show
thought,
us what's
yeah,
up.
I thought it was actually gonna be like rich people's grocery, like how different it
Yeah.
is. Like this is kind of talking about more. We're more going into that trashy if you're poor, classy if you're rich type of thing, which is cool, I guess, but not what I thought this would be about, though.
those dogs aren't pooping on the strawberries, then you'll be fine. These fruit stands have to follow food safety laws too. If you really want to be safe, you can cook your fruit until it
And honestly, I thought we'd be seeing more food and less him talking. Like he's talking too much for me now.
dry, like a unseasoned chicken breast. Or wash them, like we did 5 years ago when we were all locked inside. We were giving jugs of juice a sponge bath, like we were about to eat the bottle after. Now we can't even be bothered. Washing the container your food comes in, too much work. Just like making a doctor's appointment. I'm busy. I don't know which doctor to go to. This weird thing on my body, it'll probably go away on its own, right? It's a feeling we all know too well. Getting over that daunting roadblock is the first step. And thanks to ZocDoc, they've simplified the whole process. No more reason to in-network doing things for information about typically having it. And go to ZocDoc. Like I mentioned before, we live in an aesthetics-driven economy. It's pretty much social media currency at this point. Buying nectarines from a French fruit stand on your vacay in Europe is much more glamorous than picking up fruit from a shabby looking stand in New York City when it's basically the same thing. The only difference, one's better suited for an Instagram post, while the other one's there just to feed people. Although anything can turn into an aesthetic nowadays. Now it's cool to have a poor person's aesthetic, but only if you're well off. Even poverty has turned into a trend. Check out these fashion brands. We got tenderized jeans falling off the bone, selling for $2,000 a pair. Can't tell if these were human-made or
Balenciaga.
thrown into a pit of lions made.
Yep.
There's a duct tape bracelet that costs the same amount as someone's rent in New York. Here's some other examples of
That's
classy if
crazy.
you're
I've
rich,
never
trashy
seen
if you're
that
poor,
before.
quitting your job and starting a new adventure with your wife and kids by living inside a van for a year. Day drinking wine from 10 a.m.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
That's
That's true.
that's the trash if you're poor,
Poor,
thing. Yeah, if you
yeah.
live in a car, yeah, it's trash. But if you're rich, you're just going on an adventure. It's cool. It's cute.
And if you see how much they invest into glamorizing the truck, it's like a down payment to a home.
I can only imagine. Well, they're rich, so they gotta make it look nice, right?
To 10 p.m. with the lorazepam mom from White Lotus, getting rid of all your real teeth and replacing them with fake ones. And last but not least, taking your money and setting it on fire for fun. Which brings us to the most expensive and the most contentious grocery store in the US, Air One.
As you can see, I really didn't get much, but my total ended up being $204 for only 7 items.
Over the years, its popularity has skyrocketed. I'm pretty sure it's because of its association with rich celebrities and influencer culture. When you spend $20 for a single Japanese strawberry,
Oh well, just wasted $20.
and $30 on ice spheres that look like an REQ, it portrays a certain type of image, like you're part of an exclusive club with six-figure salaries. The Air One brand relies on exclusivity because of the price point, and carrying uncommon products you can't find anywhere else. Pretty much everything you see in the store
Oh,
goes through a
carrying
strict vetting
uncommon
process to make sure the
products.
product matches their standards of health and wellness before it can even make it onto the shelves. This place has become super popular with content creators. Even my YouTube brain is thinking, maybe I should go here and try some stuff. Sure, give me that hormone-free water and La Lisa Thai iced tea drink. I got $50 to spare, you only live once. Yeah, you can throw it in my Air One tote bag I got for 17. Think I'll go ahead and put this back. On one side, you have people making
You
content
could
on
create
how
the look for
ridiculously
less at
expensive their products
home.
are while trying them to see if it's worth the price.
We're at the most expensive grocery store in the country, trying $175 of the most popular items.
They go heavy. Scared.
You know what I'm always curious about those places is whether or not like if the food that they're trying to sell you goes bad before it goes bad, do they then take it to the kitchen and cook it to serve it to the people
I don't
in
know.
the hot bar?
I would think they.
I need to know what goes down in
I
the
mean,
hot
there
bar.
has to be some sort of like minimizing waste, right? So maybe
Yeah.
either put it on sale or, yeah, maybe cook it, for the hot bar, you're right? Are you fucking kidding
How
Here we
me?
much
have,
I
like,
cannot see?
$41.
$41 for what was it?
A bowl of like
Grapes?
berries
Oh.
or something. I don't know, mixed
Oh.
fruits. Oh my goodness.
Trays
You
with
know,
mac
when before Whole Foods used to be that girl that was like the rich bitch on the block. And I remember I used to go to the hot bar, and every time you finish getting just a small plate, like this plate could have cost $20. But this one I think is going to be more.
and cheese, some poke, some vegetables, 2 little White Castle sized burgers, all for the low price of $9.6. Oh, there's no decimal point here. 9.6 as in $96. And then on the other
That's
side,
right.
you have Air One influencers who like to use the store as a place for content, which tends to do very well. Seeing people with a different lifestyle eat things you normally wouldn't is a popular genre. I
Ooh,
don't
she
think
has
Air One
the
is a bad
bags,
store.
too.
It's there for a certain clientele. The option's there, and people can make their own choices of where they want to buy their food. If you're looking for the most organic, the most niche, and the most nutrient-dense foods money can buy, Air One's the place for you. If you live in a food desert where it's hard to find fresh produce and are looking for good deals, fruit stands are where you want to go. I mean, I'd shop at Air One if they had something I really wanted and couldn't get anywhere else. Ever since I saw Ari
You know what I
carrying
like
that-
about the best thing for the farmers market for me is the popcorn. It's a special popcorn. They have a whole machine. They do it, and it's the kettle popcorn. It's so good. There was one that was like a rainbow.
No, farmer's market. That's a fair.
No, it's farmers market.
I've never seen no
They give it to
popcorn
you
in
in a
farmer's
big bag.
market.
Very nice.
Okay.
delicious looking orb. I always wondered, if I bit into that thing, would it be crispy? Right. It's just so perplexing how groceries have turned into this crazy phenomenon after we started using smartphones. We've definitely been tricked into thinking the more expensive something is, the better the quality. Is that why
That's
people are scared to
true.
buy fruit from small local fruit stands now?
Now,
'Cause this
the biggest exposure is the fashion industry to how much it costs to make the actual luxury product to what they retail it for. That's insane.
strawberries
see a
haven't
video
been
on that.
flash sterilized and given a tiny house to live in,
Look at this, it looks so
they can be
cute.
deceiving. From the outside, an Air One store looks pristine, but even they aren't completely safe from unsanitary guests. Well, next time I'm in New York, I will be eating at a fruit stand every single day until the owner knows me by name. Gotta take advantage of these unbelievable deals, man. I already know they're gonna hate to see me coming. 'Cause
How
I
do you
will be
guys
like a
feel
guy
when you
from-
go to a store and they know you by name? Does that like, are you like happy with that, or it makes you a little nervous?
math problem.
It makes
Yep,
me
you
a
heard me
little
right. I
nervous.
said 20 watermelons.
Like, damn,
Listen, you don't
I
gotta
come here
worry
way
about
too
why
much.
one guy is buying 20 watermelons for himself. And if my friend Mark eats 3, Becky plants 5, and Johnny sells 10, how many watermelons will Advation have by tomorrow? What's going on? Hey, you know what transcends all social classes? Tapping the like button before you head out.
Can I see the comments?
Sure.
But it did turn into being what's
It was not what the title
classy if you're
said.
rich,
Yeah.
but tacky if you're poor.
Hold up. She's worried about the produce is being sold outside. Girl, it grows outside.
Yeah. If she only knew what fertilizer is made out of. Really good fertilizer.
Why is washing the fruit and veggies you buy such a wild concept? The Air One store is a perfect example of if you just price it high, people will think it's fancy.
I truly feel
Yeah.
that way. Guys, we're gonna be watching this show called Black Mirror. So I think this touches upon something with Black
Really?
Mirror. I
Why?
think so, because I feel like the concept is that this is a social experiment. We're all in this
Oh.
kind of like this universe where we're being tested whether or not we'll fall for it or not.
Okay.
Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. And as always, share as much kindness as possible.